live.
What's up, people? What's up, world of the internet? We're
What's
bad
up?
at doing podcasts.
We're pretty bad. Yeah. So our schedules misaligned and we've missed like 2 weeks. So we're back. we're back.
Regular Sunday uploads.
Right. So we're back. We're here with another one, another podcast. Welcome to the Burrito podcast. I'm one of your hosts, GodofLaugh.
And I am TJayT.
All right, T. So first questions first, man. How you been, dude? It's been a minute.
It has been a minute. I've been all right. I've been just gaming, playing a lot of retro games lately on stream. A lot of GameCube games, and really getting back into Smash Melee. And that's pretty much been my content for the last couple weeks. Is just retro games, and I've been loving it.
Nice, man. Nice. I've been playing just Valorant. I've just been grinding a Valorant, and recently one of my followers got me into Aim Lab, so I've been playing a lot of Aim Lab off camera, just practicing my aim.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been pretty interesting. But we're here to talk to you guys today, so this one's gonna be a little more low key. Today we want to talk about a community. So we're gonna talk about community. How do you build a community? Like, and what we've had to deal with going through it now, and just kind of like, because we're both, me and T are both up and coming streamers, but we want to be, and that's probably the eternal question for most streamers is how do you develop and nurture and grow a community of people to come and watch your stream. So
Right.
let's just get right into it, man. How do you feel about this?
So first things first, I want to just say this is a total pet peeve of mine, and like I see it everywhere, and maybe it's just me being a dick, but like I hate when I go to somebody's like Twitter or something, or like I go to like see their Twitch bio or whatever, and it says like I'm here to play video games and I want to build a community. It's like, bro, that is the most like
Cringe.
generic thing you can say. Like I want to build a community of like-minded gamers that can be original. I hate that, like the whole, like, I get it. I understand wanting to do it. I understand wanting to build the community and whatever, but like to just like straight up be like, I'm here to build a community. Yeah, you and 3 million other people are out to build a community.
It's like one of those like unspoken, like, okay, it's part of the course that you want to do that because you're streaming.
Right.
What else? Like, what else do you have?
What should I stick around in your community for? We're here to build a community.
That's very true. Because I would say to that though, for me at least, I don't read the bio information about streamers. Like, if I go into a stream, because I don't go to a streamer's page when they're typically offline, I'll usually go on and I'll like, my general rule of thumb is I'll hop in and I'll watch for like, I'll give them like 4 minutes, like 4 or 5 minutes, and I'll watch and then I see if I'm interested. And then I kind of go from there. That's usually me, because I know some streamers like they've done their bio once and then they just like forget about it. Like they just don't touch it again, like ever.
Right. It's like 4 years old and they've got like completely outdated information in there.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so like growing a community of people, that's what everyone on Twitch wants to do. It's why you're there to stream. You're not there to stream video games to no one to watch, because literally what would be the purpose in that you could just make a YouTube video instead. So
right,
because the live streaming audience is so much different from a like a YouTube following, you know what I mean? Because a YouTube following is very like, you post a video, they're there, that like it's a once a week kind of interaction. They make one comment, boom, and that's pretty much it. But with the live stream, your followers and your audience are actively having a conversation with you. You are actively speaking to them and talking to them and being like, hey, how you guys doing? Hey, Job, or Billy Thornton 47. How's your wife? I heard she was, told me she was pregnant last week.
Right. Yeah.
So how do you do it? So like, what do you think, dude? Like, what have you tried to do do you think's been working for you?
I think one of the biggest things to building a community of people in your channel and I think we both have experienced this pretty well, is like if you can get like 2 or 3 people that just like come to every stream and like hang out, and like you get to know them really well, and like they sort of act as like hype men, you know what I mean? Like if you have those 3 viewers, 2 or 3 viewers that come every time, and like they're chatting and they're active in the chat, and like somebody new comes in and they're like welcoming to them and they include them in conversations, like that is so huge. If you come into a chat and like nobody's talking, you don't want to be the first one to say anything, and if it's just you and the streamer like talking back and forth, it gets boring really quick. But if you have that like that little community already built, it's like that helps so much. And I think getting that is honestly just like,
it's a big hurdle.
It's super hard to get those initial like those small like,
that core group that really enjoy
Right.
and are like actively speaking. Because like I very much agree with you on that. Like that is such a hard thing to get, that developing people to chat. Just because like I feel like 90% of people when they hop into a stream, they don't talk. Like they don't type. They're just like blankly watching and they're not chatting, and it makes it really difficult to develop anything if no one is speaking. You know what I mean? And I know like you and I share a similar amount of people who watch both of our streams, so we are thankful enough that we've built several people who have come from our previous streaming platforms over onto Twitch, and you know, I'm thankful that we have them. But that took a long time to develop, you know what I mean? And that conversion rate has been not great, considering like the amount of followers you had on Caffeine and then over to Mixer, and then, you know what I mean? It's kind of been trickled down. Like you had close to 2,000, and now it's like the amount of people. We always talk about the conversion rate of like, oh, you have 1,800 followers, right? But your conversion rate of active watchers per given stream is like under 15 at any given time. And then people who are actually speaking is even less than that, you know? And it's so rough, man. Like I try very hard like to speak out whenever like anyone comments. If anyone chats, I try to be like on top of it. Maybe that's just because of the caffeine days of like having chat literally in your window the entire
stream.
You know, of being like the quick like, hey, boom, what's up, dude? How you doing? Let's chat, let's talk and develop a relationship. It's hard at a small level. It's very difficult.
But then on the opposite side of that, I've also heard a bunch of people, and I've read this in a bunch of different articles and stuff too, say that like there's a lot of people who come into streams and then like if they're addressed by the streamer immediately, they feel super uncomfortable about it. Like they come into a stream to watch a gameplay or something, you know, say that you're playing like Skyrim and they really like Skyrim and they want to, you know, watch somebody else, like say you're playing with mods and like messing around, and they just like the idea of that, and they come into the stream and like the streamer sees, you know, Johnny Boy 43 and they're like, hey, what's up, Johnny Boy 43, thanks for coming in, and they just get like super overwhelmed and they're just like, I'm out. So like you have to, it's like a super weird balance of like, do you wait for them to talk first? Do you address them beforehand? Do you like? It's really every single case is different.
It is, and it's so hard.
It's really weird.
I would say I definitely fall more into the category of I think that's, for me, I think that's dumb. That mentality of I feel called out, but that's just a personal thing. Like I think that's weird if they feel uncomfortable that their online name gets called out on a third-party platform of someone playing a video game of which no one will probably remember your exact name because they wanted to say hello to you. That's just me though, because like I like it if I go into a stream and like I say hello, you know what I mean, and I get a response back and they're actively like trying to like speak to their chat and actually like interact. Like I enjoy that, because like whenever I go into a stream, I give the streamer a chance. I'm like, hey, I'll start chatting. And I'll be like, hey, how you doing? Da-da-da. And I test the waters. I'm like, I'll ask them probing questions and try to get them to speak up.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of streamer I want to be. If someone asks me something, I want to be able to hop on and discuss and interact with those people, because that's my point. Like I stream not to play games, really. Because if I just want to play games, I wouldn't turn my stream on. I would just play a game. I'm here to interact with people and like talk to people and know who they are, catch up with old friends, and etc. So that's just me though, and I don't understand that concept. It's like you're being called out on the internet on a live stream chat, and if you're in a popular chat, that message is gone in like 2 seconds. Like it's
and to me
boom.
personally, like if you're the type of person that's afraid of that, like I feel like why wouldn't you just like go to YouTube then? Like why wouldn't you just go look up YouTube videos of, you know, of the content that you want to see? Because I guarantee there's YouTube content for just about anything that you could think of.
Yes, like if you just want to watch gameplay, that's what YouTube is for. Like that is the repository of curated, edited, just video. You don't have to speak to anybody, kind of a thing. You don't even have to say like anything in the comments. That's the perfect place to lurk because that's how that's how the YouTube works. A live stream is designed for you to watch and be interactive with. It's by definition interactive because you're live streaming and people are actively watching you. Like when people like when they go to like the Oscars and stuff and have like people actively tweeting and you can see like the Twitter feed at the bottom of people saying like, I can't believe Matthew McConaughey won the Oscars, da 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 da. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's kind of like that.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I would say if you're a person that just wants to go in and watch content, go to YouTube. You go to Twitch to enjoy interacting with a community of people and the streamer. Like that's the point of that aspect, at least for me.
Another thing that I was gonna bring up about the small community is like something that I found is really important is like not only if you have that group of people that like to watch you, but like if those people get along with each other as well. If you can have a group of people that are watching you, that like 3 or 4 people, and they're all friends outside of like what you're doing, that just like amplifies everything tenfold. Like if you know everybody and they're all chatting and they all can like joke around with each other, and like you get like for me, when I was streaming on Caffeine, I had like 2 or 3 viewers that would like show up and they'd hang out, and like these people would be making memes about me during my stream and like be posting them in my Discord, and like it was hilarious and it was just super funny, and I'd show them on stream, and like so they're all friends, they're getting along, they're making the same jokes, we're all having a good time. Somebody comes into that and they're like, wow, this is really dope, like I like this a lot, I want to hang out and stick around.
It's like getting introduced into a group of like to a circle of friends and be like, oh, I want to get in on the joke too, and they're like, come on in, like come on in, let's talk, let's have fun.
There's that like innate sense of wanting to belong to something that like when you come in and there's already something established that you're like, I want in on this, I want to be a part of this. And
being open as a streamer, being open to be like, yeah, come on in, let's do it. Because like in my stream, like I have a couple of people who come in and like and this is from Caffeine as well, they came in to watch and they have since become friends to the point where they actually practice like 1v1s against each other in Fortnite. You know, and I'm like, and then they come in, they just like when we were playing Fortnite, they would come in and talk shop about that kind of stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, you know. And now like they're just friends, and like they actively talk just outside of the stream, and like that's amazing. Like that's what I want as a streamer. Like that's
because they have you as that common
that link. Exactly.
Right.
You know. And it's great to be able to see that kind of stuff. So then, like, it feels good, you know? And the other question is then how do you really engage those people then? You know, it kind of really comes down to preference, you know? I would choose to be more active in that, and I can see some streamers don't. Because I've seen streamers that I've gone into, and I'll type something, and they don't interact. Like, and it just, to me, that just bugs me. And this isn't even, like, big streamers that I've seen that don't do it. Like, streamers that don't interact with chat on a small level, that bugs the hell out of me. Like, I do not understand why they don't do that. Like,
I don't. It's like, why are you live streaming then?
Exactly. Like there's so I was watching earlier this morning because I was doing research, just for like personal, just to learn from others, to just see how they're doing it. And there's some people who have like, I saw this one girl streamer. She was streaming. She had like, I want to say like 80K follows, a sizable following, and she was live streaming to like 13 14 people, like
Yeah.
a small amount of people. And when I hopped in,
Right.
I was expecting chat to be like rolling, and it
Yeah.
was like Nightbot, Stream Elements, and then 2 other
Oh,
people
really?
every so often, like not even asking, just kind of stating a comment like blah. I
Yeah.
said hello, and then she was just playing. She was playing, and then she was on her phone, and she was just like, "Oh, hello," and then
Yeah.
back to her
Right.
phone. I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like, it's like,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Okay, like maybe I'll give her the benefit of the doubt." Kept going. She started playing the game, and then she never said anything like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Like, no one else was
Right.
chatting. I was the only one trying to be active, and it was just kind of like one word answers, or kind of like,
It's super
eh.
uncomfortable. Like it's
It
just like I
feels
don't.
exactly. It felt weird, and I'm like, I don't feel
Yeah.
welcomed here. Like, none of the other people were saying like, "Hey, how you doing, man? Like, what's going on?
Right.
Welcome to the stream."
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
I'm being a burden more than like a good thing. Like I feel like
Yeah,
I'm not being a positive influence in this situation. I feel like
yeah.
I'm being weird or like aggressive,
I
and
know. I
it's like,
feel
nah,
like
I
I'm
just want to
like.
chat.
I feel like I've come into a circle of friends, like the mean clique, and they're like, "Who's
Came into the
this?" Yeah,
popular kids, and they're just like,
yeah,
"Ew."
yeah. And I'm like, no. It's like you should be thankful when someone clicks on. Like in my head, anyone that clicks on my stream, I'm like, oh my god, thank you for giving me the
For
elevator pitch. Thanks.
picking me out
Yeah,
of thousands of other people
yeah.
to
Like thank you
give
for
a
giving
chance.
me thank you for giving me the elevator pitch. Give me
Right.
30 seconds. If you're interested, thank you for staying. If not, hey man, I
Right.
can't be mad at that. It's like it's not your type of content. It's not your type of content.
Yeah.
So then, how do you turn those people into that following?
Mm-hmm.
How do you engage with your audience to get them to stick around? Like what makes it work? I know for me, like all I try to do is I just try to be super active with chatting. I try to get chat. I try to ask chat questions. So, like my stuff is really like entry level stuff. I haven't done a lot of like deep thought and how to like actively
Yeah.
be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly it's just try to make sure like I stay there's my focus has always been no dead air as much as I possibly can,
Yeah.
conversating with chat as much as I possibly can, and just trying to keep the stream active and try to keep like do stuff physically to try to keep people like try to get people to ask questions, do stuff, and that's how I've always tried to engage into people. Because for me, I'm a big
Mm-hmm.
conversationalist, so that's how I try to like pull people in is like through conversation. I'm like, please come talk to me. Like
Yeah.
I love speaking with other people, and that's how I've always tried to do it. What about yourself?
Uh, Me, I think it's probably more like I play like a lot of Smash, and like I said, I've been playing more like retro games and stuff. So like me, I think I've been really delving into like more like niche established communities already. Like the Smash community is like already a
It's a
thing. It's
very yeah.
very like it's a very solid like built thing where people have this passion about this game. So like I'll open my stream up to, viewer matches, which a lot of people do. That's like, I'll play you 1v1 in Smash, just like hang out. You can play with the other people that are in this lobby, like we're all just hanging out playing, and we'll all just like, make jokes. So I kind of establish a community, I guess you'd say, a following that way. Like,
Because that's
um,
super engagement. That's like the top level engagement. Is you're actively
right,
we're going to play 1v1 against each other.
right.
Hop in
And
this
then
lobby.
like, if like they're better than me, which a lot of people are, then like I can ask them like, hey, like you were super good, I trying to get better at this, what can you do? And then they like can give some tips, and they can help out other people in the chat. And if I'm better than them, then they can like ask me like, wow, this is really good, how did you do this, etc., etc. So that kind of works out that way. And like lately I said I've been playing like retro games and stuff like that. That again is a very like niche community. Like
Very niche.
there's a very like nostalgia based fan group
Yeah.
around like older games. So I think to me that's like super helpful in the fact that like I'll play Wind Waker on GameCube, and like a game like Fortnite or like Call of Duty has like 100,000 live viewers and like thousands of people streaming it, but like Wind Waker might have like 200 live viewers. But if you're one of 5 people streaming Wind Waker,
You're on the
you
top
split
row.
those 200 viewers. And I mean, like, honestly, like if you have, you could stream Wind Waker, you're only one of 5 people playing it. And I've had people come in and comment on like they're like, wow, your quality, like your camera setup and everything is the best in this category,
And it's
and
like,
they'll follow just for that.
yeah,
They're
and you're
like,
like,
this is great. Like I want to watch Wind Waker, but everybody else has shit quality.
it's like
So
you
like I'm
have,
gonna follow you.
like you have like your production is high
Right.
up. You have a decent looking. It's not just like the super narrow, like zoomed
Yeah.
in face, and they're just like,
Right,
oh
yeah.
my god, I
The
got
air
a
conditioner running in the
chest.
background.
Well, you say that, and I have my fan running.
I
It's
can't
hot.
even hear it.
It's California, man. It's like 97 degrees outside. I'm sorry, it's hot, you know. But yeah, you have the good quality, and that's something that gets people to come and actually follow too. Is like
Yeah.
having good production in your stream.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like there are some streams that I followed because I've liked their setup, like the way they set their cameras up and everything. And I'm like,
Yeah,
damn, like
definitely.
that looks amazing. And I've become a follower because I'm like, I want to learn and see those tips and tricks from people.
Right, and it's just it's more entertaining to
When-
watch something like that than opposed to like somebody, you
With
know,
nothing.
Like, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like ugh.
Interactivity in the stream is super important. Like that's something that like I've been trying to work on getting my production level up so that way you have that, you know, people can see that you care. I feel like that's a big thing
Right.
too. It's like when I go in some of these streams, I see people streaming, they literally just streaming just the game, and I'm like,
That's super boring.
yeah, and I'm
literally,
like, I don't care about that. Or they have
if
like
you at least
no
don't have like a microphone, like
or a no cam. I don't get the
yeah.
no cam ones. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
bro, like what's like no cam? Like I don't care about the game. I can play the game. Your
Right.
gameplay is not more interesting than my gameplay unless you're like a competitive player, like top tier. You know what I mean?
Right. Or
Why
you
would I
like a
watch yours?
speedrun or something? But yeah, if
Yeah.
it's just somebody like chilling playing the game, then
I don't understand that. I'm like, I want to see you. Like that's why I don't get saying. I'm like, have a face cam at least. Like there are very few streamers who can pull off a no face cam thing anymore, and there are exceptions to the rule. You know what I mean? Like very few people there are exceptions to that specific rule, and not everyone should be doing that at all. Like
right, yeah.
the streamer, we want to know
I think
you.
like when I come to like I think like Dakota's the Fortnite streamer.
He's
I don't
the
know if he
only
still
one that I
plays
know.
Fortnite.
He's the only one that
But-
I know of for sure that like top level streamer who doesn't
Yeah.
have a face cam that like
Right.
barely shows his face ever.
Right.
The one picture I've ever seen of him is him wearing a hat, and it's like nose up. It's just like he took a picture like this, and I'm like, he streams to like thousands of people, and he's like a top tier streamer.
Right.
But yeah, like production value is super important to
Right.
attracting a certain group of people because then they're interested. And I'm like, you know,
Even
'cause
coming down to like
'cause like you
your,
said.
like your donation things and like what pops up when people do things or like your stinger transitions, all of that matters to
Yeah.
people like me anyway. Like I like a good quality production. I don't like
Yeah.
watching like potato webcam and like bad, like I don't know. It's just like
no,
that's
it's
super
important
uninteresting to me.
because it's like we've gotten to the point where we've put in the time and the effort to make our streams look better, to make them look
Right.
interesting. There's a quality level to it that we expect a certain amount from other streamers that we enjoy watching. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I can't stand when I see other streamers that they don't have anything interesting. You know, like they have the basic image, they have the basic zombie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I am working actively to get my own sounds and my own stuff for all of that stuff. You know, so I can get rid of that because I don't like it.
Right.
You know, or having like an interesting a little thing, pop-ups, a little subtrain to show some effort that you're putting into it.
Right.
You know, I like seeing that, and that makes me more interested in staying, and that buys you more time. I think that's the important thing. Having the high level production or anything else, all that is to buy time to get people to spend more time on your stream. That will then gives you more opportunities to impress them to want to stay, follow, and start chatting. And you know, so important.
It's like television. Like that's literally all TV is. Like that's all people are fighting for in the world of TV is watch time, and that's what the way it is on YouTube. That's the way it is on literally anything. And how do you get more watch time? Well, you have better production quality. You have better casts, better acting, better sets, better like
Better everything.
like that. Like and that's what you need to do in the world of streaming too. You need to have a better personality, you need to have better production quality, better content in general, like
Exactly. You gotta have it. You gotta give a reason for people to want to come and stay,
mm-hmm.
and then turning them into those followers that want to come and watch and actively are excited to watch you, because then your production
Right.
becomes, and we've discussed this before, you turn it into like a TV show. If you take it
Mm-hmm.
seriously, and people can tell when you take it seriously and you put in the effort to like make the design choices and work on it, they'll see the difference in quality and they're more willing to stay and watch.
Right.
Hardcore. Like I've seen some of the, like I've scrolled to the bottom, like the streamers who are the amount of concurrent viewers that I currently have, and I kind of see the other streamers around that level, and I'm like, oh my god, like I destroy these people in terms of like general
Yeah.
production, and like I
Uh-huh.
haven't even been able to fully do everything that I want to do with my stream, and I'm like, some of
Yeah.
these people just have like the basic flat cut cam, like
The square
the
webcam
square
and
with
the
no
yeah.
overlay, like nothing else, and they're using like a USB like Xbox controller mic sounding
Oh yeah.
thing,
Yep.
and I'm like, I can't, I don't, I'm not gonna watch this. I just can't.
No, like I always say that it makes me feel like a bad person, but like if I go into a stream, if someone's like, "Hey, check out this streamer that I've been watching," and I'm like, "Okay," and I go in, and if they have that muffled mic sound and like bad I'm just like, I'm not even gonna. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Like I just like it's not interesting to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like trying to get somebody to watch like a poorly budgeted film. Like I don't know.
Right. So that then comes to a question I want to ask then. So it's, how do you feel about, like, I don't know, man. It's coming from our experience, we both had big success on our previous platform, caffeine.tv.
Mm-hmm.
Really big success on there. You grew up to about, was like 1900. Oh, no, you
Yeah.
broke 2K, right?
No, I never broke 2K. I was like 18 something.
1800 follows, and I was around
Yeah.
like 1200 follows or something like that. I would
Mhm.
say, like, our general strategy on there, I would say this, from at least from my experience, my strategy for developing, growing people was literally nothing. I did not have a strategy to grow, 'cause I was literally just streaming. I wasn't thinking about, like,
How to actively improve. the
yeah, I
content
wasn't
and
thinking
make
about
it
it like a
right.
business. I was just thinking like, hey, I'm turning on the stream. Hey, how you guys doing? You guys want to play some games, just like you were doing
Mhm.
with your Smash? We're like, you guys want to play Fortnite? Because that's when we were streaming Fortnite full time.
Yeah.
We were like, you guys want to play Fortnite? We're doing viewer matches. Come on in, hang out, and play. Hey, like, you
Yeah.
want to, And we had a lot of success from that.
Yep.
A whole lot of success. And then we switched over to Mixer. Did you have any strategies of trying to get like more followers and more active followers while we were on Mixer?
I think with Mixer, that's when I really started to understand the importance of not only just like turning on your stream, like I've always had the mentality of being consistent, like stream often and regularly. If you can stream like 5 times a week at the same time every day, that's like already like a giant boost up. If you can get like a set schedule, which I don't have right now because like
It's
work, it just like kills and everything, but it's super important to do that. And I've told everybody that, like, the caffeine people would ask me all the time. They'd come in and see me with like 15 1600 followers. They're like, how the hell did you do it? And I'm like, dude, I just literally stream
at
all
the
the
same
fucking
time.
time at
Stream.
8 o'clock every day, like, and people know that I'm here and they come, and it's just it works out.
It's like, you won't get
But
followers if you stream maybe 1 to 7 times a week, maybe in the morning, sometimes in the PM. See, like,
exactly,
you're
yeah,
never
it's
going to
just
go that
confusing
way.
and people don't know when to catch you, so it's like, and you gotta rely on notifications, which half the time people just like
Ignore, or they
past
don't get
whatever.
because it just, that doesn't
Right.
work sometimes. Sometimes the algorithm just is like, it doesn't send you. Just like YouTube notifications, like, I'm subscribed to some people and they'll post a video and I won't see it for 2 weeks. And I'm like,
Mhm.
what the heck? Like, I hit the bell, I did the things you told me to do, and it still doesn't work.
Right.
But
I
it's,
think with Mixer, my whole mentality changed of, because Mixer is where I first started watching Too Stanky, who I believe we've talked about on the
yes.
on the channel before, and he was like kind of the king of Smash when it comes to Mixer. He was like the top dog on that platform with Smash Bros. And I kind of entered his community and like talked to his followers and like engaged in that. And that's when I really saw the importance of like networking and like getting to know other people on the platform. And like if you become part of their community and like talk with their followers and like actively engage in their games, and like I don't do it just to like yank his followers, but like I genuinely enjoy the dude's content. But I've had a bunch of his followers come over to my stream and like, hey, I remember you from Too Stanky stream, do you want to play Smash? And I'm like, hell yeah, let's play some Smash. And like I established a relationship with these streamers, so like to the point where like Too Stanky rated me on Twitch the other night. Like it's just like you build these connections with other people who are already like more established, and then you can like kind of share ideas with them, and their followers come over to watch you, and it's just like that I think is 100%, along with consistency, the way to go about especially in my scene, like in a like I said, a niche community like Smash Bros or whatever. Like everybody's so tight together already that like it makes it easy to what is the word I'm looking for? Collaborate with other content creators of the same genre, the same game.
Yeah, especially with such a like you said, such a like a very tight, very dedicated group of like fans who watch on the platform. It's like the numbers are not like high like Fortnite, Valorant, or Call of Duty for like fighting games like that, but the community is like hyper consistent. Like I feel like every time I go on there, it's always like around the same number, and they're always watching, that they're always there and getting into a community. Because at the end of the day, it's like, and this is something that like I feel like you've done a very good job at, and I am still very hardcore struggling to do so, just because of just time in general, is being a streamer. Not only should you stream, because that's what you want to do as a definition of a streamer, is to also be a stream watcher and to be developed into somebody else's community. Because like I said, networking is so very important. If you become a community member of someone else's streams and you start talking and you're not being an idiot about it, being like, oh hey, I'm in the community, blah blah, hey guys, come check out my Twitch, come check out my Twitch all the time.
Don't self-promote yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Never self-promote, but just start talking. Yeah, and just be talking, blah, 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 and then like eventually they'd be like, hey, do you stream? And they'd be like, oh, actually, yes, I do. And they'd be like, oh, Snoop, like, hey, cool, like let me come check you out or something, you know what I mean? Yeah. And let that naturally happen. Then that you can start. When you become friends with them like that, then they're more willing to be able to, hey, I will come check out your Twitch because you haven't been an asshole about self-promoting yourself or whatever. You just enjoy being in my community. Let me check out your community. Let me check out what you've been doing, and we're friends now. And then you go from there, like whenever you stream, I try to like at least try to give you a host, give you a raid. I try to, try to do, and like I said, you've been really good about getting into other people's communities. I have been terrible. And I just I think it's a weird part of me where I feel very, what's the word? Not narcissistic, but like I'm streaming. Why should I watch you? And that's a horrible mentality to have, because there are
right. No, I definitely get it. I've struggled with the same thing. Like
it's hard.
You have it in your brain. Like why am I going to spend time watching someone else play a game that like I want to be known for playing?
Exactly.
But I could be spending that time putting the effort into my content, into my stream, trying to build whatever. But
it's all long term.
Like
it's like it's all like you become community, and that's all that networking. Like you said, being in someone else's thing, it's not a waste. You learn, you see other people's streams, you get experience watching, you see what works, what doesn't work. You experience a lot of these things that you wouldn't normally if you just didn't watch a stream. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that's super important. I feel like that's something that I personally am going to be working on more often, is finding those communities and those streams that I enjoy watching, and then I'll be able to do that, And like I said, like you've been doing a great job about that. You found like the fighting game community, you found Too Stanky, you found like a lot of other people that you are able to do that with. I've been horrible at it. It's just like I'm just like I don't watch anyone else's streams at all.
I feel like Valorant is kind of weird with that though.
It's hard.
it is one of those like bigger games right now where like you don't have those like
No.
tight knit smaller communities. It's like either people are playing Valorant to 3 viewers or people are playing Valorant to 10,000 viewers. You know,
Exactly.
like
Yeah. And it's a weird place because a lot of people are just playing. The community isn't there because the community isn't Valorant community. The community is FPS.
mm-hmm.
It's just general
right
competitive FPS. There isn't like a nice community of people like that. You know what I mean? There isn't really like thinking of like, oh, too stanky fighting game community kind of stuff. Like when I think Valorant, all I ever see are just the top tier competitive people. There isn't like a mid-level streamers that I can watch who are like building a community of people, etc., etc.
It's the type of thing where like when something else comes out, people are gonna migrate from Valorant to the new game.
Yeah, they'll fling over to
but
it.
Like Smash Bros, people still play Melee competitively. A game that came out in 2001.
Yeah,
like
19 years ago.
19 years old, and people are still in love with that game, and there's still a hardcore community dedicated to it.
Exactly, and that's what that's such a cool thing to see, that like it's not just about the popular games. There are games people still want to watch, you know what I mean, and just enjoy. And even better, like that community is probably much older. I mean, they are much older, and they're probably more willing to speak because they're interested in that game. It's like, oh, cool, like there's more people streaming this game, I want to check it out.
Right.
And that's something. So then, talking about that, so for speaking of like game choice and whatnot, so you have found the game place that you are thriving and making your content in. So the question is, should we, when I use the word we as in streamer in general, should you switch games constantly to chase followers and trends?
I think
that's something that I've been kind of like trying to
there's such a cliche statement out there that everybody blankets out, but I believe it to be 100% true, and you should just play the games that you like playing. It doesn't matter what, like, I mean, unless you enjoy playing like Crisis 1, like, and the game has like 2 viewers on Twitch, like,
or
it's
Space
not obviously
Cadet 3D pinball for the Microsoft 98.
It's not gonna. You have to find a balance of something that you really love playing but actually has active viewers. But like, I think you should definitely just focus on, like, I don't think anybody should chase, like, if you don't enjoy playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare, don't play it on stream, because nobody's gonna want to watch you try and play a game that you don't like playing.
Exactly.
Like, if you're not having fun with it, if you're not enjoying the content that you're making, then nobody else is gonna enjoy it. So like, that's what, like, I love playing Smash, and I love like these old GameCube games that I've been playing. Like, I played through the Wind Waker through its entirety on stream, and I loved every second of it, because that's like one of my favorite video games of all time. And it did okay. It did well. I had an average of like 4 to 5 viewers every single time I streamed, and it just worked. So like, I think if you're genuinely enjoying the game that you're playing, I don't think anybody should have to chase clout in terms of like trying to keep up with popular trends. If you love playing Fortnite and you are super passionate about the game and want to take it seriously and get better at it, then 100% stream Fortnite, but don't stream a game
just because it's popular.
It's popular. Yeah. Because that won't work out for you.
Yeah.
I can guarantee it.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that, because it's something that I have been kind of like trying to figure out. Because like I've always kind of done the same thing. Like we have always played, when we first started, we only played Fortnite, but we played Fortnite because we enjoyed playing Fortnite on caffeine. And the only time we really ever made any switches to stuff was when it was something that we both enjoyed playing. Like we have a shared gaming history together. Like we did Fortnite together, and then we started doing Minecraft.
Oh my god, Minecraft Mondays!
Minecraft Mondays! We started playing Minecraft a lot, and then we kind of eventually transitioned out because we stopped enjoying that game and looking out to find other games that we enjoyed playing.
Yeah.
And it's something that I feel like that's what you said is very true. Like, if you don't enjoy the game that you're playing, why are you playing it and why are you streaming it? Because I feel like you can definitely tell if someone doesn't enjoy playing a game. Like, for me, like, I don't enjoy streaming Call of Duty because that's a game I very much like. I like to play off that game offline. Like I don't enjoy. I like playing the game. I don't like playing it on stream. So I've only ever done it
Yeah,
once
right.
or twice. Just
I've
kind of
got
like,
games like that
yeah,
too.
exactly. For Valorant, like I look at my numbers for Valorant. I'm like, oh, they're not great. But at the same time, I'm like, I just really like playing Valorant, and I really
Yeah.
want to just stream this game.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's very true. Because if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be streaming it. And I
Yeah.
feel like people will see it. They'll learn. They'll be like, oh, like this guy's like he enjoys playing this game. I see some of these other Valorant streamers. They feel like they're just playing it because it is the
There's
like
so
the
many people that
spotlight.
do that.
It's the
Yeah.
spotlight on the game right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll have the
I see it all
Valorant
the time
tag.
where people they'll just boot up the most popular big game that they can and just like play it, and they just don't enjoy it. That was me for a while. I was doing that with, by the time we came around to our end of our Fortnite thing, like I was playing it every day. We were doing custom matches with viewers, and like it just like you can ask my wife. Like literally, I would start like it would be Sunday. We'd do custom Sundays, and the stream was supposed to start at like 2 p.m. or whatever. And I was just like, it was like noon, and I was like, I do not want to do this today. Like,
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to play
cannot
this.
stand the thought of playing 4 hours with like screeching kids in my headphones, and like I can't stand the thought of doing this.
It's truer words have not been said. Like I will tell you, like that engagement that we got from doing those, though, you cannot deny that it worked. Like it
was
really,
huge. Yeah,
it was great. Like it worked
Tons
super
of
well.
viewers.
But it also got to the point where it's like my ears hurt. I just hear kids
It
screaming.
wasn't fun anymore. It was just like
Yeah,
it felt like I said, I was just dreading it. Like 2 hours before the stream started, I was just like,
and it became work.
"Ugh."
It became
Yeah.
work organizing. Oh my god, I can't get into the thing. Have you tried logging out, logging back in?
Yep.
I'll
Your
get you
code
another
doesn't
next
work.
game. Yeah. Oh my god, your code doesn't work. Yeah.
Make a new code.
Yeah.
It was the worst.
It's like, dude, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's where my drinking
And that
problem came. I started drinking so I would drown out the noise.
That was like the tipping point for me. Like, I don't think I want to play Fortnite on stream anymore.
Right? It's like, it was bad. It was really bad.
You hop on every once in a while now, get to like, hey, you want to boot up some Fortnite randomly? Okay, sure. Like, but
Yeah.
to make it like my main content, I could never do it again.
No, but like I said, you found your content. You found your content, and I'm very glad that you've been able to find like the content range that you enjoy making in. It's good to see.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out what mine is. I'm not sure what it is so far.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm
I
just kind of
like everything that I've ever done, like including like I'm a musician, and like I tried to write music with a band before, and like the whole idea of like our music that we were writing was nostalgia, because like nostalgia is such a powerful thing in the mind of like those who have it. And like, so if I boot up a stream and play Super Mario Sunshine, like that's a beloved game by tons of people who played it growing up. And like you get these guys that are like my age that like played Super Mario Sunshine when they were 9-10 years old, that are just like, oh my god, I love this game. And it just works. And like I think nostalgia is such a powerful thing that you can build a large like
you can build a
large,
really good
thing
following.
from.
You really can. I don't know, because I didn't have that nostalgia factor that you have, because I didn't play a lot of like these older games that people have like big cult followings with, which
Yeah.
makes me sad. I just played a lot of like, I don't know, man. My gaming history is all kinds of weird. I like some weird ass games that like no one's ever heard of, and I know I could not stream it because it would not do well. Like, as much as I would love to play it, I could not do it because it would literally like no one would watch.
Yeah.
Nightbot would not watch me play these games. Like,
That's the thing about like the stuff that I'm playing is mostly Nintendo too, and like I feel like
and Nintendo has that.
Nintendo
They
is-
have
right.
that library of games where people are like, oh my god. Like, if you were to play Banjo-Kazooie on the N64, people would watch that shit because that is like hardcore nostalgic for a lot of people.
right.
Like, people love.
It's not so
that.
much that way with like, I don't know, like there's so many like PS2 games. Like you could play like Shadow of the Colossus, which is a fantastic game.
People
Super,
would watch
super good.
that.
Yeah.
People watch that because that's a very like
There's a fly in here. He's
meow.
getting in my.
And I definitely agree, because like I feel like that's a realm that I want to dive into and play some older games from my past, just just because I want to be able to stream it, because like I feel like that's something I want to do. Is like as a streamer, you want to connect with your following and your audience. You want to share with them the games that you enjoy.
Right. It gives you a really good talking point if you're
Yeah.
passionate about the games that you're playing, and
Yeah.
other people come in and like have that same. I was playing one of the first days that I played Wind Waker. Some random viewer came in, never talked to him before, never had him before, and he gave me a 19-question quiz on the Legend of Zelda lore, and it was
lore?
the coolest shit ever. Yeah, it was just like, all right,
Oof.
I'm gonna go off. And you're gonna have 19 questions, and I'm like, all right, let's do it. So that was like,
bring it on, my dude.
Yeah.
You get my follow if you
where
answer these questions.
Right. Where did this guy come from? And how did he have a 19-question quiz just waiting for
But also, that's dope, because then that's like I think that's cool, because that's interactivity right there. That's engagement.
Yeah.
That's content. That's
super
content
cool.
right there. That's amazing. Man, I wish people would do that with me. Yeah. But what else, man? Like building a community with getting people active. That's such a tough thing.
It's honestly it's such a case by case scenario. There's no like golden rule to like do this and you will get engagement. Like
it's very
no way to,
it's very weird to get those.
It's up in the air.
It's very up in the air. It's very like it's almost like a case by case scenario to try to get people like that, because sometimes you'll just have like dedicated people who will come and watch, but they won't speak, like they don't, because they just want to sit there and just kind of relax and just watch, and and not have that interactivity. But at the same time, it hurts us as streamers, because it's like we need you to speak to get the following so we can get more people in here. It's a weird like balancing act of like respecting what they want, but at the same time it's like, please, you're part of the family of people here. I really need you to start talking so we can convince other people we're cool.
There's nothing harder as a streamer to just sit there and talk to nobody. And like everyone says that you should do that. Everyone that I've ever looked up and read said that you should keep talking and keep like engaging no matter what's going on. But like if you have nobody talking back to you and you're like, hey guys, how's your Friday go? How was it? And just like
no one says anything.
Dead chat. And you're just like, yeah, my Friday was pretty good.
Bro, that's half my stream sometimes. It's like
it's so hard
because I have the people who come in. I got K's, I got Slayer, I got a couple other people who come in, and I have some of my friends who come and watch, but they come in and they just like they lurk, and I'm like talking to myself, and I end up just talking about the game, and I'm like, that is, to me, I'm like, that is not interesting, because I'm not playing with other people. If I was playing with other people, then it's like, okay, cool, like I can riff off of them, I got a partner I can do stuff with. But if it's just you playing random solos trying to like play a game, it's like, corner, he's on BCT.
Yeah, right.
Up on long. It's like, what is this content? Like, it's so
your whole content is just your call outs and stuff.
Yeah, and it's like best call outs on Valorant. Come check out the stream, guys. It's difficult. Like, it's very hard to like speak into the void, like constantly.
Yeah.
Over and over
super
and over.
Debilitating when you look down and you see you have like 6 or 7 viewers and like nobody's saying anything. It's like, bro, where are all of you? Like,
yeah. And it's like, then you see some of the big tier streamers who like don't even look at the chat, because it's literally tens of thousands of people chatting. Yeah, like looking at like Tim the Tat Man. I think he was streaming Call of Duty the other day, and he was streaming to like 50K, and I was like, oh my god! Like I went into the chat, I'm like, I cannot even like comprehend how fast it's going, and even in
pretty much
sub only mode,
to the messages that like donate or something, like
exactly.
That, like,
at that point it becomes
read your message.
At that point it's a TV show. You're just watching him put on a show. You're not there to talk to him, you know what I mean? Because that's the dynamic like shift once you hit that kind of level of viewership. When you're lower, it's a conversation. It's you're on the ground floor with the TV producer as they're producing the show. As you get higher and higher and higher, you become more of an audience member, and your input and voice is less and less.
Right.
Because it's just too many people. Papega, PogChamp, all these questions. You know what I mean? It's so much. It's an insane amount.
Questions.
Yeah, because I remember when we were, I think the highest viewership we had on Caffeine was when we were running like the Caffeine Royale tournament, and we had like concurrently between us like 100+ people watching,
Yeah.
and it was like at that point I was like, I can't keep up with this, and I'm like,
it was nuts.
it was way too many things happening on the screen at once.
Yeah.
And it got too difficult to control, and it's like I feel bad about it, but
right. I mean, you can't control it, so that's literally all you can do is just
even in slow mode. Even in slow mode, it's like, and then they have like the emote only, and then it's just a stream of just like random emotes, and I'm like, oh my god, what is going on here?
Yep.
I cannot understand this nonsense.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting how much of a difference like that makes between like having. I think the the capping point for having like a discussion with your chat is like 100 active chatters. If you could have like under 100 active chatters, you could still kind of like, especially with Twitch where you can kind of backlog and see stuff still, you can go back, you can still kind of communicate with people. You aren't obviously going to be able to respond to everyone, but you can still have like meaningful conversations with your chat, get everybody like engaging with each other. But like as soon as you break that like 100 threshold and you start getting above that, then it's just like it's just chaos.
It is absolute chaos. But anything else, man? I can't think of anything else. It's
just if you came to this podcast to learn how to build a community in concrete ways, if you find out, let us know. Put it in the comments how you engage in a community and build that sense of togetherness, because we're still learning how to do it.
Yeah, my guy, I'm Asian. Give it to me easy. Give me the 1 + 1 = 2. And how to grow a community, because like I said, this is a place for us to have a discussion. We wanted this podcast to be a place where we discuss things and workshop stuff. This is a place for we're small content creators. We don't have the answers. We're just testing things out to see if it works, and then kind of go from there.
The goal here is to once again create a community of content creators, smaller people like us who can engage and share ideas and just talk about content, and it's such a robust thing that like I feel like nobody sees it from our point of view, really. Like
you don't
you put it on a pedestal like we're doing, you put it out on a platform and talk about these things. I feel like it's such an internal struggle in every small streamer's mind that it might be a good idea to just kind of see it from another and know that like, wow, I'm not alone, other people also are having a hard time doing this.
Because you only ever see like the big podcasts, the big streamers doing podcasts about like the success story and stuff. But it's like, how about like, I kind of want to know like the struggle aspect of things. Like, I don't care if you succeeded. I want to see how many times you failed and what didn't work. That's a much more important lesson to learn, because your success, what made you popular, will not make me popular. Because a lot of those big time streamers and stuff, they got popular. I want to say a big chunk of how they became popular is they got in early and they had good quality early. And you can't discount how big a proponent of that really is. Tim had good quality, and that's what got him blew up. Ninja had good skill, that got good timing, good everything. That was right. Not to discredit their streaming history, but it's like they were one of the early proponents. Summit, same thing. I would not watch Summit because I don't think his content's interesting, but he's huge because he was such an early person to stream that everyone just happened to see him at one point. And that's how his numbers have gotten to where they are.
Yeah.
Good timing is
the coinciding of Fortnite blowing up as these people are on the forefront already. Already. I think before Fortnite blew up, Ninja had like 200 to 300 live viewers on his streams. You know what I mean? Like, he would play Halo and he would play stuff like that, and like he was a bigger streamer. Not bigger, but like he was a good sized streamer. But then like Fortnite was blowing up and he kept getting more and more viewers, and then he had that game with like Drake and those guys, and like that just like he had like 600,000 live viewers during that. Like, I think that's crazy.
And that's the biggest like insane push I've ever seen, And that's just how good and I'll tell you right now, from a small perspective, that's not going to happen to you 99% of the time. That is not going to happen for us at the small level. At the small level, we have to do things differently. That's just not going to work. You know what I mean? That's why we always say That's why they say it's like they are exceptions to the rule, not the norm.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like there isn't gonna be another ninja for a while.
Right.
Like that's such a crazy story. Like his meteoric rise to not even just to like internet fandom, but to like actual celebrity status. Like people actually know who. Like if you say ninja, they're like, oh, the Fortnite dude. It's like, yes, his name is.
He's to the point where he's like, he was on like The Masked Singer, and like
that
he
was
has like his merch in Walmart, and like
you can buy the ninja headband in Walmart. You know what I mean? Like he is a household name. He's at that level where people know who he actually is.
He's collaborated with the Detroit Lions multiple times.
Like if you saw
Adidas clothing lines, like
he's a Red Bull sponsored athlete, one of two in history. He was sponsored. He was on the front cover of ESPN. The Sport Ball magazine, he as a gamer was on the front page of
Sport Ball.
the Sport Ball one. They talk about the touchdown
bat
thing. Yeah,
swinging basketballs.
The one where they're swimming, they throw balls at each other, right? That's sport, whatever it is. They hit the home run tackle thing. You know, like what has worked for them typically will not work for someone at a small level. Besides, like the basic stuff that they want to tell you: stream often, stream regularly.
That's all the advice you can ever give to people is you have to do it your own way. And here's some very basic, like best practices to get you going.
That's all the people can tell you. General best practice.
Yeah.
And then maybe just having like the only other one that I know of people always say is make content outside of Twitch, because Twitch has a horrible you cannot get discovered on Twitch. That's insanely hard like to do just because of how Twitch is set up, and that's just infrastructure. You know what I mean? Like to really gain a following, like to get new people to really come in, you either have to do what you're doing, stream at a high level on different games and have those people discover you through there because you have better quality than the other people that are on the platform.
Yeah.
Or you need to make content outside of Twitch and bring those followers over to Twitch. Make content on Instagram. Make content on YouTube. Make content on freaking TikTok. You bring those people over.
Oh my God, dude. You want to talk about TikTok for a second in terms of building a community? Bro, so TikTok is really interesting. I've actually used it a bit to like push some stuff out, and it's so why it's interesting is the way TikTok works is when you post a video, it is pretty much guaranteed to be seen by about 100 people. It will always push out to 100 people, and whether you make a good video or not and how much it's liked and commented on will then push it into further steps. So like if you put your video out, it's probably going to get seen by about 100 people. And then if those 100 people are actively liking and commenting on it, then it gets pushed out to another 500 people. And if those 500 people are liking and commenting on it, then it gets pushed out to 1,000 people, and so on and so forth. And it kind of like works in a step pattern like that. And I've seen a lot of people
blow up
really, really good, like off of one TikTok. They'll just post like a kind of a creative, like, you know, they'll make like a joke about how like, you know, they put like thousands of dollars into their stream setup and they're like getting ready, and then it just shows the one viewer and their face is just like, you know, like they're like super distraught that they put all this money into it, and it has like 500,000 comments, a whole bunch of likes, and like they get a bunch of Twitch followers off of it. People are like subscribing to them, and then their next video is just like, what the fuck just happened? I posted one TikTok making a joke and I have 20,000 Twitch followers.
Oh
like,
my God.
Crazy stuff. So if you can really nail it on TikTok, like if you can get it to the point where like you're making regular content on there too, that has like a guaranteed
the discoverability is
somebody.
Yeah, the discoverability is crazy high. I didn't know that's how it worked.
Yeah, and if you use your hashtags well, and like everybody has a curated For You page, so if you watch a lot of stuff that's like hashtagged Twitch streamer or, you know, Super Smash Brothers or whatever, you're gonna see more of that stuff on your For You page, and it's really interesting. I would check it out if you haven't, because I've been using it for a while. I mean, until it gets banned in the United States. But.
I was say I haven't, but I made the conscious decision not to use TikTok because I'm like, I'm almost boomer status, and I'm like, I just don't want to have to deal with learning a new another social media.
Once you get past, because TikTok's gonna push a whole bunch of like teenage girls dancing at you. Once you get past all that and start like actually curating it to what you want to see, it's super super cool.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that's a missed opportunity for me, is using the power of the app that everybody in the effing world is using right now,
right?
Which is TikTok. And I'm like, I don't know why I just chose. I just didn't want to do it. But I mean, now that you said it like that, but now that you've put it like that, that's a crazy. So it gets automatically, it will be seen by somebody, and then I
almost always,
once
like,
it filters,
any video I put out gets at least 100 views,
and then after all the filtering of people liking, commenting, then like the algorithm be like, okay, cool, it got liked by this many, we'll shoot it out to another,
right?
Blah 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 blah, and then it's like multiplicative. It just keeps getting bigger if it's like interesting.
Yeah.
Dang, that's. Hey man, TikTok.com/GodofLaugh.
I check it out, man. It's seriously like, and I see a lot of people who do like similar stuff, and I think. Obviously, it's like growing in popularity. I mean, it's super popular already, but like I see more and more people doing the like trying to like persuade people to go check out their Twitch. So like it's gonna be a little saturated now, but like it still has that. If you're creative enough and you're funny enough, just to pique the interest a little bit of somebody to like it and give a comment, like.
That's very true. Because I feel like just posting it, like people won't. You gotta make actual like content, like treat it like
make a sketch about it, or you have to make it, do
you can't
something that's
you can't just do a TikTok that's like ha ha ha, there's my link, ha 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 ha. No, because then almost be like, I'm not
care about that, they're gonna scroll right past
it. But if you make a funny, because I've seen
somebody laugh, or
because I've seen some of Ninja's TikToks, because he reposts it to his Instagram or Twitter sometimes, and I'm like, oh, like that's smart. I mean, if that's the wave, man, I'm always down to try and learn something new.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Because I know at work, some people have just done like some weird little dance videos, and my boss was doing I forget what the name of that dance is, where it's like they're tapping toes, or like their feet are hitting against back each other, and it's like a whole ass thing.
Oh, yeah.
And they did that, and the next day, the person who filmed it came back and said, yeah, you guys got 70,000 views. And I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
And I was like,
I think that's what makes TikTok so addicting to people who are making content on it, is like there's always, I made a TikTok about this actually, is that there's always this premise of like potentially going viral for anything. It doesn't matter what it is. There's people who literally film themselves standing in one spot, no captions, no hashtags, and it'll have 500,000 views, because it's just, people are like, wow, this is ironically funny, I'm gonna like it. Like the first 100 people see it and they're like, this dude is literally just standing here doing nothing. This is hilarious, I'm gonna like this. Like the premise is always there of going viral for doing anything, and like if you can put the time in and make like funny content or thought-provoking content, you do have an honest shot at getting seen by tons of people.
I kind of hate that though. I hate what that is so popular. The one you just said.
Yeah.
Something about that, I'm just like, oh, there's something about that triggers me just a little. I'm like, oh, it's annoying to hear. Like, what the?
You see it. And
that's like, so unironically funny.
I have put hundreds and hundreds of hours into content, and this guy stands there for 15 seconds, and he's super popular.
Freaking 14-year-olds getting popular at this. I'm like, God, man, the world has changed.
There's a dude on there that I follow, and like his whole shtick is like, he has a ukulele, and he like just like prefaces it with like some like sad inspirational like, I didn't really know my father that much, and we had a hard time growing up, and I write music to get by, and here's a song that I wrote that inspires me to be the best person that I could be. And he just strums one chord and goes, cock, and that's it. And the
Cock. Okay.
That's it. And that cuts. I'm like, that's hilarious.
All right, you've convinced me. I will. We'll have to look into this TikTok and see what's going on with that. That's going to be. It's really interesting. All right, man. With that, we're gonna cut it off there, man. We've been going on for a while. That was a good conversation, man. It's always a pleasure to discuss shop with you, my man. Always.
Always.
All right, man. So, like I said, we'll have, please, again, I am GodofLaugh. I stream on twitch.tv/GodofLaugh 2-3 times a week, typically Wednesdays and Sundays.
I'm TJayT. I stream on twitch.tv/TJayT_SB. I play a lot of, like I said, retro games, Smash Bros. I stream pretty late at night generally, but I found my little nest there, and we're rocking with it.
So yeah, please come check us out on Twitch. Please let us know if you guys watch this, if you guys have any ideas, or if you have any suggestions. We're always down to entertain and have a conversation about it. And yeah, man, that's it. Have a great rest of your day, night, weekend, etc. Bye.
enjoy everything, be happy all the time, and never ever be sad again.
Ever. Dab.